Hey everybody, and welcome to another edition of Where the Heck Are the Albans? And where the heck are the Albans? We are still in Iowa, if you've been watching our past couple vlogs, but today we are at the Herbert Hoover Presidential Library and Historic Site.
We'd like to thank you, Herbert Hoover. I don't know the rest of the words. Too bad we don't have Emerson. She knows all this.
Yeah, she does. So we, we've said in the past couple vlogs, we are without children. This is just Becky and I getting out, having some fun on our own. But we're about to go into the Herbert Hoover Presidential Library. So come on in, let's go check it out. Now here we are at the Herbert Hoover National Historical Society. Becky and I are laughing here. I think he was a Quaker, and Becky says that he doesn't think he was a Quaker because he was rich.
I think he had a lot of money always.
Oh, I always think he had a lot of money too, but as I was explaining, you can have a lot of money and be a Quaker. You just can't show it off.
I don't think
you just can't be a show-off about it. You don't think so?
Well, don't you think being a president and not really caring when the stock market crashed and
Well, you do care about when the stock market crashed. He was blamed for it. It wasn't his fault.
Well, we'll find out, won't
we?
we?
We will find out. Let's find out.
Excuse me, but the Herbert Hoover Presidential Library is going to give us propaganda saying that he wasn't to blame for it.
Maybe. That's possible. But still, let's find out. So they have this little map here, and it'll show us some of the things that we're going to see today. So they've actually got his actual birthplace cottage here on the site. There's a blacksmith and a schoolhouse. And there's the Presidential Library itself. All right. And there's his gravesite is here too. And this is going to be buried right over here. So if you take a look at the grounds, we're right here in that building. If you were not aware, they have like park ranger uniforms for kids and things like that. But if you were not aware that all the presidential libraries are part of the National Park Service. Did you know that, Becky?
I did.
You did? You didn't know. Herbert Hoover, West Branch's native son. And here in the visitor center.
I just learned that Theodore Hoover, Herbert's brother, was nicknamed Tad for Tadpole.
Tadpole?
Yeah, that's
really?
what I just learned in the movie.
Oh. Look at that. So they used to call him Tad for Tadpole. So they raised their 3 young children in this house built by the dad. And it was an active home where the Hoovers hosted family and friends, and we're actually going to see that. The actual place. So the items that you see here are the actual items. This was Herbert Hoover's cradle when he was a baby. Interesting. And this was his high chair. Now, I do not believe this desk, this school desk, is historically accurate because I do not believe that they had touch screens built into their... You know what I find very interesting? This is Main Street in 1900. Look at that. I find it interesting that back then everybody owned a horse, but only the rich owned cars. And now everybody owns a car and only the rich have horses. What do you think of that?
My, how the stables have turned.
Oh my God. Never mind. Forget you. So this Presidential Library, they asked the question, what would you like to leave as a legacy for your family and your country? I would say, well, where the heck are the Albans vlog? Becky and I are, right now, we just discovered something, and we're seeing how far away it is, because look what Becky found. Show them. Show them, show them. Look, it's the birthplace and museum of John Wayne. 140 miles. So we're about
2 hours
what?
and 23 minutes.
Going which way?
West.
We're going the wrong way.
Well, Des Moines. Is that the wrong way?
Yeah. All right, well, we'll do that some other time. World of opportunity. My country owes me nothing. It gave me, as it gives every boy and girl, a chance. So we are going to go see the little village here.
Here's a fun fact. Herbert Hoover was the first president of the United States of America to be born west of the Mississippi.
That's interesting. Well, yeah. That is very interesting. Wow. So here is a piece of historic downtown West Branch, Iowa. And
This is what Main Street,
this is what, yeah, this was what Main Street looked like, basically. You got some of the old homes here. And that is the birthplace of Herbert Hoover. That is the actual place where he was born. So don't forget, no cars back then. So everybody had a hitching post for their horses. And oh, there are descriptions of the houses. I did not know that. Right up here. So this home is the Hannah Varney house, built in 1899 for Hannah Varney. She only lived in this house for about 1 year, but her daughters, Cora and Clara, continued to live here until 1915. What I find interesting is that built in 1900, I don't think that that air conditioner was part of the original plan, or the high efficiency furnace inside. As you can see, the little pipes coming out of the side. So this house here, let's see if it gives us some information on this house. It does. This was Dr. Leach's house. He opened a medical practice in West Branch in 1882 and practiced here for the next 55 years. Interesting. Some of the houses, the gates are open, which allows you to walk around the property. However, you cannot go inside the home because they are marked on the step private to see if you can go in or not. It's a very pretty house. This is the superintendent's office that runs the village here. But back then it was the C.E. Smith house. Charles Smith moved to West Branch in the 1880s and pursued his trade as a carpenter and a contractor. And in 1903, he built this retirement dream home for himself and his wife. Okay, and next up is the Herbert Hoover home. President Hoover was born in this very cottage. So let's go on in to the Herbert Hoover birth. So there were 2 rooms. The bedroom, sewing machine, dresser, bedpans. There is a crib, another bed with a pull-out bed underneath. No closet, but there are hooks to hang clothes. And in this room was kind of like a sofa, some chairs, and a table. There would have been a potbelly stove in here too. There was a wood stove in this room, so that was for cooking. And that would have sat right here in this corner. And the smokestack, this part right here, would have gone into there. So the stove actually sat right here, right there. Talk about tight and cozy, huh? And that's it. Then you go outside to the backyard. And out back they had a well for pumping water. And a good old outhouse. Right across the street from where he was born was the Jesse Hoover blacksmith house. Jesse Hoover, a well-liked and fair businessman, sold his blacksmith shop and opened a farm machinery business on Main Street in 1878. Huh. They made all sorts of horseshoes and hammering out a dinner gong. Are you getting your learn on, Becky?
Absolutely. I just learned how to make a giant cookie out in my slow cooker.
A giant cookie in your slow cooker.
Yeah.
Well, at least you learned something while at school.
Pretty awesome. I'm totally doing it.
So let's take a peek inside the school. All the children would put their coats and lunch boxes up here. Come around the corner, and here is the school itself. They had a picture of George Washington and Abraham Lincoln. The golden rule, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. But here are all the school desks. And don't forget, back then there was no grade school, high school, whatever. You just kind of all went to school together. So she would give, the teacher would give instruction to the younger ones, and while they were doing their work, give instructions to the middle schoolers, and then give instruction to the older kids. And this was their source of heat right here, this potbelly stove. Wow. And then here's the other side of the main street. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, Becky, 5 more buildings. Oh, there's another one. Oh, shh.
No, not you. Them.
Oh, we're listening to cardinals sing.
God, they're so loud.
So now we're going to head on over to the Presidential Library, which you can see part of it over here, and the entrance to it is right over here.
Look at a robin.
Where's a robin? Oh,
right there.
See him? Is that the first robin you have seen?
It is the first robin I've seen.
The first robin of spring?
That's my favorite sight the whole year.
Is when the robins
When
appear.
I see a robin.
There he is. That means spring is coming. This place, he was raised with Quaker values.
So you're just going to rub it in.
So yes, of course I am. Hey everybody, he was a Quaker.
I'm going to go to the cry room right now.
Yeah, there was a cry room. Oh, that's
Most
where they would
churches-
take the
crying
kids.
kids.
There was the women's side. There was the men's side.
And known the two shall meet.
Elders and ministers. The meeting house built
Wait a
in
minute.
1857.
Wait a minute. Were the elders and ministers in the rafters? How does that work?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Okay, so
This either was. Oh, okay.
now you get it.
This is where the elders and the ministers sat.
The elders and ministers sat here
Women.
and over there, and then all the women sat over here, and the men would sit over there.
And the cheeky ones could just.
And the cry room would have been outside, and then you would leave the church,
Because your children
Here.
were unruly.
and then you would come in here, and look, they had cribs in here and all sorts of things. But this was the cry room. Got some church bells in the background. So Becky just enlightened me a little. She had been reading some things and was talking to a man. The Hoovers were actually pretty well off their entire life. They just built that as a starter home.
Right after they got married.
And when they first got married, and they put all their money into the blacksmith business. So that's where all their money kind of went to, instead of just buying a big house. But by the time they left, there was 5 people in that home.
They got married, I think he said 61 by 60. No, they got married I think in 60. By 62, Tad was born. 64, Herbert was born, and 66, May was born.
Gotcha.
I think. I probably have those dates wrong, but that's what the guy told me.
Okay. So, to Herbert Hoover, President of the United States, native son of Iowa, citizen of the world. Oh, this was presented to him. The goddess of life. That is
the creepiest statue I've ever
That
seen.
is a creepy statue. Look at the veil. But
I am
she
that
is-
which was and is and will ever be, and no mortal has yet lifted the veil which covers me. Oh, it's Isis.
Oh. Isis, the goddess of
You
life.
think the veils would cover her nipples?
Becky.
I mean, you can't see her face, but who can see her nipples? I'm sorry, but
It's true.
and she has really big feet, long toes.
Yeah. Wow. All right, well, there she is, Isis.
We used to have a cat named Isis.
Yes. Awesome cat. Softest cat I've ever owned.
I truly love the way she's got her fingers kind of coiled, and that's some art right there. She's got long fingers.
Yeah. Well, it'll match your big toes. Her long feet. Yeah. All right, so E pluribus unum. This is the Herbert Hoover Library and Museum, but the museum entrance is around the corner.
I'm sure we'll have to exit the gift shop.
I guess we could have drove over here.
Why?
Okay, and here is the entrance to the museum. Okay, so I am going to stop the vlog right here at this point, and we'll go into the Presidential Library tomorrow in the museum. After I got everything all edited, it wound up being like an hour and 10 minutes, and I'm not going to do that to anybody for one shot. So because we're already at like 18 minutes for this one. So we'll stop here with the historic village, and then tomorrow you will see the library. Okay, so we will see you guys next time. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe down below. We'll see you guys next time on Where the Heck Are the Albans? Okay, bye everyone.